Good afternoon. Hope you are doing fine and well during this pandemic. Please follow Government of India rules and regulations. Get vaccinated and follow the steps Government of India announces. This week, I'm going to cover in this episode about three important incidents which touches the world. Number one is about China building highly electrified high-speed rails until Indian border of Arunachal Pradesh will be taken first. Secondly, Jammu Kashmir democratic process, then bomb blast on by drones. Lastly, Afghanistan, its effect on India. See, the most important concern is China is building up the bullet trains or its electrified high-speed rail near the Indian border of Arunachal Pradesh. The new line, which started in 2014 from Lhasa and touches near the border of Arunachal Pradesh, called in a place called Ningchi. It's a 435 kilometers big line where per hour speed will be 160 kilometers and it will reduce 1.5 hour time. Why this bullet train is very important here is for logistics purpose. It can bring men, materials, arms, ammunitions, weapons through these lines very easily. So this will be a direct, though China says it is using this as development purpose, but strategically it is a direct threat to India's peace and security there. So India never has any problem if China does any development works. But if it is used for the defense purpose, it is really dangerous and also threat to other countries' security. Secondly, China also built big bridges and highway near Brahmaputra, near this same Arunachal Pradesh region. So that is also considered as a threat. But China building up the land, waterways, and also airfields near the India-China border is really worrisome. On the one side, they are doing negotiations. On the second side, they are trying to build up the arms ammunitions and also infrastructure. So when the world is affected by coronavirus, 1, 2, 3 waves, they are doing this type of act against India is really not good for the society. When they have to concentrate, when India has to concentrate on medicines and development works, it is China is making India to concentrate on the border areas by joining with Indian adversaries. This is one. Second thing is, for the first time, Pakistan has used drones against, especially in the peacetime, against India's sensitive military installations. Normally, no country in the world try to arm other countries' sensitive installations except during war. But Pakistan has gone one step ahead, like they did in 2016 Pathankot attacks. They tried to do the same thing by sending drones with LEDs, with IEDs. So this was use of drones to send arms, ammunitions, weapons, drugs, avala money is not new. In 2020, 20th June, Kathua, 9th September 2020, Samba, Poonch, Rajouri, Akron, Atrina, Ramban, then Ramgarh, Samba region in this year, they have sent arms, ammunitions, weapons, drugs and avala money. But for the first time now, they have sent LEDs, though it is very small percentage, They have sent with GPS with exact precise location and target, so that the choppers angles are affected and there is a very big disturbance. But it was somehow it was exposed, and only as a defense PRO Lieutenant Colonel Devendra Anand said, no damage to equipment, but very small injuries. NIA, NSG, forensic experts, bomb disposal squads, Jammu Kashmir police, defense minister also had a word with the air marshals there, and also our air marshal is in already is in Bangladesh for a talk. So his RKS Badori's chief's Bangladesh visit will not be disturbed. Why this blasts are concern for India is under two and of war with its neighbors, who are very dirty, dangerous, and difficult to manage. One is Pakistan, which is destabilizing everywhere in the world, every countries. Secondly, China, which is a threat to every neighbors and also small and medium countries. So they both have combined together. In the Ladakh, when the defense minister and Indian army chief, they want to go and assess the situation there, this type of blast happens. Secondly, Pakistan want always Jammu Kashmir in the news. Already India, Jammu Kashmir, 14 political leaders of different political parties, they have come together for a peaceful elections and delimitation. So Pakistan want some sort of disturbances. See, same Hamas does in Israel by disturbing, by sending missiles, drones, or some sort of attacks, so that Israel has to get a bad name and it should be in the news. Same thing Pakistan tried to use here. So already Pathankot, Punjab, and Avantipur in Srinagar, they have been informed to be alert, but Pakistan has to mend its way. So they should not disturb the democratic process in Jammu Kashmir Union Territory. And lastly, I want to cover about Afghanistan, where Taliban is trying to take over all the lands and districts. More than 60% of the Afghanistan land is getting controlled by Taliban, and Taliban is once again starting to regroup themselves. So they had promised American negotiators that there will be peace and there will be no harm to the democratic government. But bomb blast and attack on the security forces there, and tie up with the Al Qaeda and ISIS terrorists, sheltering them and going back to the medieval age of their own education systems, can be a very big threat to not only for the region but also to the world peace and security. So now Pakistan, if for the Pakistan, if there is a very powerful Taliban, then the end of Pakistan as a state can happen. But for China, they are open to talk to Taliban, and whenever there is any vulnerability there, they can always try to take over them, and they can change from their culture to their history to their thoughts, and they can make a cultural genocide in the future there. That is a very worrisome, which has to be looked upon. For now, finally I can conclude by saying that bullet trains built by China, it is used for peaceful purpose is good, otherwise it's a threat to its neighbor. Secondly, drones using as target killings or target attacks on as terrorism is very dangerous, difficult, and dirty. That has to be noticed. And thirdly, India is facing two and of war, and security internally and externally, things will be very difficult in the coming days. Personally, I feel that 2020 started with a very dangerous sign. Iran, US, 2019 started with Iran, US tensions. 2020 started with Corona. Then 2021, in the middle, we are starting with lot of conflicts on the one side with China, Pakistan, and now we are having with drones, all these things. So how, as a nation, India has to face very huge challenges in the coming days.